Filipino have diverse appearances.
They have this Latino vibe, which I also really like.
So they always do this face.
I have it out here.
Like that.
Like that.
Some Filipinos are white skin. You can
White
see Spain
skin.
and the United States where they're colonizing.
There is such a big mix of different cultures in the Philippines that people, like, you can't say you look Filipino. What's up, Philippines? Welcome back to another reaction video with your host Nelly. I love seeing your smiling faces as always. Today we're going to react to a video that says Filipinos are built different. What do Europeans think about Filipinos? Very, very interesting question. I am excited to hear it too. I hope you are excited as well. Do me a favor and comment right away in the section down below what you think. What is it that makes Filipinos stand out? Like, what is so different about them, and what kind of stereotypes do Europeans have about the Filipinos? But yeah, without further ado, I'm dying to know. Super excited for this video, and without further ado, let's do it.
Some people are white, which I was like, what? But yes, world! Some Filipinos are white skin.
Yeah.
Hello guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Elle's
Elle's
Planet. I'm Jonas and this is
Anton.
and we are living in Denmark.
Hey everyone,
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
Theo and I'm from Denmark, Copenhagen. But I'm currently in Colombia and I've also lived here on and off for about 4 years. I'm part of the YouTube channel Valen and Theo, so if you want to check out all our content, make sure to head on
so
over
these are
there.
the
We got
people
all
that
sorts
are
of K-pop
contributing
and generally just
their
like
opinion.
pop culture content in general, and we're blowing up and we're having a great time with it. It's super cool. Make sure to head on over and check out our channel.
Hi, my name is Shay. I'm a British content creator and co-founder of HallyuCon, and I live in London.
Hi, my name is Valentin. I'm from France and I'm currently living in Sydney, Australia. I've been living here now for about 2 years. You can actually find me on Instagram, where you'll be able to find
Okay.
a bit of my modeling
Yeah,
stuff
technically
and
he's
also a bit
European.
of my personal life.
This is Lula. I'm from Spain, Zaragoza, in the region of Aragon. You can follow me on Instagram, LulaLunera22, my artsy things, other crazy worlds.
Yo, it's myself from Germany here. I'm half
Oh,
German.
the
half
Germans.
Thai, and I'm happy to talk about Filipinos and the Philippines today.
Have you ever met a Filipino in the country you live in?
So growing up in my immediate area, there wasn't actually a huge Filipino community. I did have a few Filipino friends and peers in school, so it was really nice to have a brief entry and touch point into the Philippines and Filipino culture and cuisine and music, and to learn more in that respect. But it wasn't something that I was surrounded by. Like, Filipino food wasn't easily accessible, so I did just pick up on little things that I was learning from my friends whilst in school, for example.
I've actually known a lot of Filipinos in Denmark in a lot of different contexts, both at work and also just
So many in
for
Denmark?
different social things. They're actually quite a prevalent sort of demographic or ethnic group. I've actually had 2 Filipino co-workers who were actually a couple, and they were super cute and super sweet. One of them was actually half Danish, but she grew up in the Philippines. I
Okay.
also know a couple of women here who are married to Danish men, which is quite a common way for Filipino women to end up in Denmark. There's also many other cases where Filipinos also end up in Denmark, and in many cases also are born in Denmark, which has nothing to do with marriage or anything along these lines. And it's interesting
He
to see
loves
how Filipinos
his
in
details.
Denmark incorporate themselves into many different parts of society.
I've met Filipinos in my university. Apart from that, I have good friends from there.
Yeah, I've met Filipinos in Spain. Most of them are house cleaners or house cookers. I've heard a lot of good things about it. People with money and people that has like high class standards, talking specifically about how good they are.
Yes,
Ooh.
absolutely. There is
Okay.
plenty of Filipino in Australia, especially in Sydney, I would
Yes.
say. It's probably because
Okay, when I was in Sydney, there's a video on my YouTube channel, Nelly's Life. I realized that. I walked down the street and people were like, "Hi Nelly," and I'm like, okay, what's happening here? There's a very big community in Sydney and in Australia in general, so I can relate to that.
It's probably because the Philippines are quite close to Australia. However, I haven't met that many Filipino in France.
We have 3 very close Filipino friends. Yes, these
Cute.
two.
These two.
Picture proof.
Gavin and Chad. These guys are full Filipino living in Denmark, and I started meeting them through some common friends we had. I just met them at a birthday and then later at a bar, and I heard that one of them were dancing, and I was like, oh cool, I dance too. Then we started becoming very close friends from that point on. And the other one is half Filipino, Chris.
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
This is Chris.
Handsome guy. I met him because we were both working together, but we were not that close, and then people talked a lot of smack about him, and I was like, no way that he's a bad person. So I was like, oh, let's have a drink and talk this out. And then it was just misunderstanding, and he was just a super cool guy.
We know he's a cool guy.
Really close friends as well, from that point on.
I know them because I'm friends with our friends.
And we are all very close.
Oh yeah.
Based on the people you have met, can you describe what Filipinos look like?
To me, Filipinos have diverse appearances, probably due to their rich cultural and ethnic heritage. Some common features to me would be brown skin tone, dark hair, and dark eyes. It's usually a mix of many background influences, resulting in a wide range of facial features.
Based on the Filipinos that I grew up with and was surrounded by, I wouldn't say that there's like one distinct way that all Filipinos look or one trait that I see amongst them all. I would say that Filipinos definitely come in all shapes and sizes. There are some people that have lighter skin tones, darker complexions, different eye shapes, even hair texture. Some of my friends have like really tight curls, others have really thin or straight hair. So I think there's such a wide spectrum. I haven't noticed one distinct trait that they all sort of...
Okay, this is something very important to mention. There is such a big mix of different cultures in the Philippines that people, like, you can't say you look Filipino. You can hear it maybe from the speaking, but it's not so distinctive in terms of like how they look, because there's a lot of Spanish influence, there's Chinese influence as well, American influence, Australian influence, so like so many different ones that you can't nail it down.
If it counts as a feature, I would say they look really good. Apart from that, they have this Latino vibe, which I also really like.
I've also met a lot of half Filipinos, and it's really interesting how they look. Like a lot of the time, they can actually pass for Latin Americans when they're half Filipino, which I guess is because Latin America is sort of a mixture between people who are, you know, racially similar to Southeast Asians mixed with European heritage. So it makes sense that if you mix up like a Filipino with someone of European descent, they can also end up looking pretty Latin American. A lot of people also say that Filipinos are the Latin Americans of Southeast Asia.
They are.
I think I also mentioned in the last video.
They have big...
Yeah, they're definitely the Latinos of Southeast Asia, because the hospitality, the warmth, the culture is just so different from all other Asian countries that you're just like, this doesn't feel like you're in Asia. So, very different.
Chad and Gav has like crazy big eyes.
And they're really funny.
So they always do this face.
I have it out here.
Like that. That's like the signature.
I think they're probably the ones that maybe differentiate from the rest of Asia kind of thing.
The Spanish.
Spanish, yeah. We can see like from our rest of our friends as maybe Viet and Chinese and stuff, they're definitely like, you can see if they're like more Filipino.
Differentiate.
Yeah.
Our half Filipino friend is quite tall. You're like 180. He's taller than you.
Yeah.
So for Asian height, he's
quite
tall.
Wow. Quite tall, yeah.
While our friends Chad and Gab, they're average height in Asia, I guess.
But in Denmark,
they're just short, just like me.
Smile. Filipinos are very smiley, and they all have a beautiful smile.
You can always spot the Filipino by a smile.
Nose, it's so beautiful also. It's
and
like
the jolly
rounded,
behavior.
beautiful hair. They come from the island, a lot of sun exposure. Some people are white, which I was like, what? But yes, world! Some Filipinos are white skin! Because Spain and the United States were there colonizing, so now the color of the skin has been mixed. The skin color in the Philippines, in terms of classism, it's a very big topic. But this is for another video.
What do these Filipinos do in your home country?
In my country, I would say that Filipinos typically have a range of different jobs, but I definitely would say that we have a lot of Filipino individuals that dedicate and contribute so much of their time to being healthcare providers of some sort. Carers, doctors, nurses, a lot of Filipino students in university. The Filipinos that I've met, they're usually really highly educated, and that's really valued within their families. And then also a lot of Filipino individuals in the creative field. A lot of my friends work in media and marketing, the entertainment world to some extent.
In France, friends, from what I know and from the Filipino I know, most of them would work in the hospitality area, but sometimes it can be something very different, such as engineering or IT.
The ones that I know, they are still students. I asked them and their friends who also work abroad here. They mostly work in IT, healthcare, and salesmanship.
IT.
Regarding which occupations Filipinos have in Denmark, based upon my experience, it's usually not within the academic sector of society, but more within, for example, cleaning, small businesses like restaurants, things like this. There is quite a noticeable amount of Filipinos, and also just in a lot of jobs that are usually not super high paying. That is definitely a trend that I have personally seen, but of course there are also Filipinos who are making really good money in Denmark. Well, there are two Danish Filipino rappers who are like entirely like ethnically Filipinos who have actually had a lot of success within the Danish rap scene, called Carmen and Danny. Within that scene of, you know, gangster rap in Denmark, they have actually gotten a lot of success.
The first time I met a Filipino, it was on a cruise in the Italian Mediterranean islands. And
a lot of
he was
seafarers.
super nice. And then when I was living in the Philippines, some Filipinos I met were students. I learned that this is a thing that many Filipinos go overseas for finding a job, because it's very difficult in the Philippines. So the overseas job is a job that enters money into the family.
Who has been featured on
Overseas Filipino workers, very, very important and the backbone of all families.
Bell's Planet as well many times. He's a professional dancer and teaches in hip-hop and choreography, and he's just super creative and super talented. He can sing as well, and he can play music. Likewise, Chatty is also super creative and super talented. He has like drawing skills, and
he takes pictures, really good pictures.
Really good.
I used to work with him for like 4 months. He got me into like a toy store kind of thing. Like, he's so sweet to customers as well. Also, like Chris, he's really charismatic as well. Like his sales skills.
What do you think of Filipino people in general based on the ones you've met?
From what I've experienced, Filipinos, they love family. They work hard to help family as much as possible. And for example,
family
I know
values.
from many that they move to another country far away to provide for the loved ones, and I find it really strong. And in general, they have many strong values like loyalty, gratitude, appreciation, respect. I learned a lot from these people. Did I say honesty? Yeah, honesty. I also love the Philippines because there's multicultural, and I find it exciting to see it mixed together and like build something really beautiful out of it.
Actually,
so why is this German guy so German and just speaking so monotone? It's just please have some excitement, bro. Like, you are just, you know,
beautiful out of it.
I actually have a lot of good experiences working with Filipinos. I've actually never had any sort of a negative experience with someone of Filipino descent. I grew up in a very multicultural area where there were people from everywhere in the world, but I've actually only ever had good experiences with Filipinos. Usually, you know, there's a stereotype of them being poor, which is also, you know, correct if you're just looking at GDP, income, inequality, what have you, these types of things. But nonetheless, they are known to be quite nice, hospitable, and generally friendly to be around for sure. One time when I was working in the convenience store with my Filipino colleagues, we had some clients who were suddenly turning hostile, and we were really good at actually showing like, hey, don't mess with us. That was really cool. And that was actually that couple. They were really nice, and I hope they're doing well. There was also quite a lot of talk here in the media in Denmark when Rodrigo Duterte was elected as, I believe, president of the Philippines. And I asked a Filipino who was going to the same high school as me what he thought about it, and we had like a really cool political discussion, sort of him telling his views and experiences in the Philippines, and it was really cool. I would love to absolutely visit the Philippines someday when me and my wife inevitably head on an Asian trip. That would be super duper cool.
From the friends I have that are Filipino, they are very warm and very social. But the main thing that impressed me about them is the strong sense of family. I also find them very hardworking.
Super hardworking.
And sometimes I just feel like when I'm starting to get close to some of my Filipino friends, they would just invite me to some family dinner, and I would get to meet the family, which are very social as well and very warm, and it would be some very comfortable and cute memories.
Yeah, I agree. Everything revolves around the family. Like, even if I talk to my friends or my team members, it's very, very important for them to spend a lot of time with with the family, be very close with the family, and then of course you get invited to family events as well. So for example, last time when I was in Manila, I went with my friend Kat, and she's like, oh, my family wants to hang out with us, and we just walked around, and her dad took such good care of me, and it was so lovely. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
A lot of the Filipinos that I grew up with or am friends with are so musically talented. So if you have any Filipino friends and they invite you to karaoke, just say no.
No?
Because you are going to be left so embarrassed.
Oh, okay.
They're some of the kindest, warmest, and most creative people out there. I really love the sense of community that my Filipino friends bring into the environment, and this warmness. The amount of times my Filipino friends have invited me to family engagements or told me about other things that are happening, I feel like at least my friends and the people that I know have always been really kind, sweet, warm, and open and inviting.
They're nice.
They're
nice.
I've seen this pattern where there's talent and some commitment in the stuff they do that is hard to find elsewhere, especially with someone like Gavin, because I've been doing so much work with Gavin and dancing. His sleep schedule is just different. He can just work without sleep. If he's passionate about something, he just will keep on
I can't.
or committing to
I'm
the stuff
very
that
passionate about many things, but I
feel
cannot
like
go without
that's
sleep.
a common theme around our friends, Filipino friends.
And they're definitely like our closest.
Yes.
They're definitely our closest.
Filipino people are curious about others. People very open to the world, you know?
Yeah,
it's not like you go there and then they see you like, what are you doing here? No, they're just kind. I have very good memories of them. I have many friends there. I have all of them in my heart. They are hosters, you know? They are like, we open 100%. The doors of our house. Even though I don't have a lot, I give you what I have.
That's the point. Filipinos will give you the last shirt, the last meal before they take it themselves. They are just so hospitable. It's incredible. You have no idea. Like, I got invited many times to homes, and even like I just recently visited a little town in Bohol, and this old lady comes up and she's like, come with me. So she goes to the little store and buys me candy and lemonade. And I know that she doesn't have much, but she gave me what she could give, and that was very, very sweet. And I spent some really, really nice quality time with her together.
Cheers to the Filipino. It's empty. San Miguel Brewery, Philippines. Since 1890. I have many memories from the Philippines. So yeah, this is the experience of an European Spanish girl. I love you all. Mahal na kita.
Okay. Alright, there are some really good points. Let me know what you think about it. I personally definitely agree with the family sense, the warmth, the hospitality, the taking care of others aspect. I think they are very unique when it comes to that. I've traveled to many places, many countries in the world, many Southeast Asian countries as well, where, you know, they are in general a little bit warmer, but no place like the Philippines. So it is still one of my favorite places, and also my home, my second home. So yeah, good video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and of course subscribe for the next video and check out my other channel, Nelly's Life. And I also have my new website online, nellyslife.co, if you want to check it out. Lots of stuff on there and blog posts about travel tips and whatnot, so definitely give it a look, and I'll see you guys next time here on What's Up Philippines. Bye bye.